Welcome back to the show. This is part 3. And I was saying about the game, the real game in real life, not this internet nerd shit that you guys keep trying to drag me down into. I mean, it's really insulting for you guys to try to drag me down into that nonsense. With all the stuff that I've done in this game, that I would be interested in some pickup artist nonsense. You know, I've been trying to be nice about it and friendly and all that kind of stuff, but now it's just getting a little irritating. So let me explain to you guys once again. If you go out there off of your computers, I have a door over there, and if I were to walk out that door into the real world and go to the game like a nightclub, okay? Well, if I go to a nightclub where I go to, I would see players, I would see Max, and I would see a couple of pimps roll through. Okay? That's the real game. Now, I know that pickup artists are these new guys that are running up into the clubs now. They come in a pack, like a pack of jackals. But you look at their game, they're not even a threat to real players. Okay? That's why they go to the game to study what we do. Does that make sense to you guys who keep sending me the nonsense bullshit? They study what people like me do, what I was doing. All right? Then they bring it back to you nerds online who are absorbing this stuff. They nerdify it, codify it, and sell it to you and pimp you out. Now, it's unfortunate that it appeals to your mindset to absorb information like that, because that very same style of yours absorbing information is what turns women off. It's why women are not going to feel you, because you have that smart guy, nerdy mindset personality. Think about the women out there. Like, I put up the profile of a oldie but goodie, hot chick. Do you think she would be attracted to an engineer? Fuck no. That's a thoroughbred. And of course, the engineer type of mindset, no offense to engineers, don't write me, please don't write me. I've been dealing with you guys for 10 years. I know what you do. So, do you think an engineer mindset would excite that type of person? Turn them on? Make them want to have sex with them? No. So I will say that the pickup artists do study what we do. They do nerdify it for that type of mentality. But it's that mentality that you've got to stop and break. If you watch the video I did on creeps, coming from the Nicki Minaj thing, you get an idea of that type of mentality. See the way they're dressed? And look at the guy at the very end of the video. That weird, creepy guy. Who kind of looks like that TFL dude. If you really think about it. Go back and look at that video. He looks like him. But if you have that type of mindset, then you have to change that mindset. Okay? Because women will not feel you as men. And I know some of the pickup artists out there, you know, they're the gurus. If you look at the gurus, they tend to be more on the good-looking side. Okay? They are not like the smart guys. They are nerdifying it for the smart guys and sell it to them because it's something they can absorb. But if you study them and look at them, they are not of that same mindset. If they are, then they're one of the good-looking ones. It's kind of rare that you see that mindset being one of the top 5% of looks. It does exist. You know, it's like quarterbacks actually have, like, you know, really smart IQs, 140 IQs. They're really intelligent. They're nerds with muscles, and they're normal. That's how you want to be. It's like a quarterback. You know, he's got the brains, and he's got the brawn, the body, and the masculinity. So these guys, they study what we do in the game. They study what the Macs do in the game. They study what the pimps, wrongly study what the pimps, or try to study what the pimps do in the game. They try to read a couple of pimp books and all that kind of stuff and try to bring back some bullshit to you guys and spit it out as game. That's why many of you guys are heading for train wrecks. Still on my site, I still have guys who like to mix and match. And one's even a black dude. Ooh, that just weirds me out. A black pickup artist dude. That's creepy to me. You gotta remember, I'm from the real world, the normal streets out there. I'm not one of the guys who are creepy, who is creepy. I might have been creepy as a kid, but I kind of straightened myself out. So I'm from the normal bandwidth. And when I see stuff like that, it just kind of weirds me out. So I hope you guys will stop the nonsense of sending me pickup artist videos and stuff like that. When they become recognized in the game, I don't even know what level they'll be at. They won't be at the player level because they don't have player skills. I gave you guys a little taste of those skills in my racehorse analysis video that I made sure it's unlisted now. The only way you're I don't know how you guys are still seeing. I guess because you're on my list or something. So the link goes out to you guys. But that's what a player is like. That's what a Mac is like. That's what a pimp is like. They can analyze a woman and see into her and see through her. Okay? And I don't see the nerds as being able to develop that ability because they don't have the ability or the skill to outwardly focus, which is what it takes. You got to get out of them big thinking heads and be able to focus on her and study her. It's kind of like, as I said in the video, kind of like what Sherlock Holmes does, only at a much, much, much lower level than what they show on those Sherlock Holmes videos, if you guys know who that is. But that's the skill level that I'm at, that you guys want to get to. Okay? If I'm in conversation with a woman, I look for the meaning behind texts, behind their words. I can feel what's real and what's not real. Okay? I can see through their body language. I can really pick up on their energy the moment they walk into a room. Now, part of that I developed as a survival skill to survive my mother, because I looked like my father, and my father was a player, so I had to step very lightly around her. I had to learn to read women at an early age, so I had a head start on you guys. And you'll find that people who get into the Mac level and pimp level, they had similar situations. They learned to read women at an early age, and they just turn that skill into, making money from it. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. That it's kind of insulting. I know that on the internet, these guys are like some kind of gods out here on the cyberland. But when they get out in the real world, against us real players out there, they're just a bunch of goobers and geeks. Guys we trip when they walk by. Those kind of guys. We flick them in the back of the head. We talk about them. We clown them. Many years ago, when I was just before I stopped going to the clubs, there was a couple of them that came up in the club that I met Jovina in. And they got clowned so bad in there, it wasn't even funny. They got on the floor in a hip-hop club, a black club, and tried to dance by themselves. When the floor wasn't even, no one was on the floor. That's how bad they were. You don't do that in a black club, and you don't do that in a hip-hop club. Get out there and skip around, by yourselves and, and do your clown act. They got clowned so bad it was not even funny. So that's what we think of the pickup artist. And I'm sure they're not any better 5 years later. I know many of you guys are pickup artists or call yourself, I'm a pickup artist. I saw that on certain forums around there. I saw that, some guys, I'm a Don Juan. Like it was some badge of power. Oh, I'm a Don Juan. God, give me a break. Fuck. 10 years. That's a long time to be dealing with this shit. But anyway, It's funny. But then when you get to the real world, it's a whole different story out there, fellas. That's what you guys are learning when you get out there and start doing your sarging and basically stepping up, trying to meet women. I don't even like the word sarging. I mean, that's just an ugly word. It just makes it seem like it's hideous to do. It's no wonder why guys get all stressed out. I got to go out and sarge. You know, especially giving that word to a bunch of demasculinated males who have no masculine energy. You're giving them a tough guy word and expect them to take it. They should have came up with a better word for that. You know, to Zen Thug, I'm aware of their vocabulary. You know, I forbid it in my forum. There are some of them came there, tried to talk about it and talk it, and we run them out. We literally run them out. There's a couple of guys on YouTube that have been ran out. You know, I'm not going to mention their names, but you know who you are. We ran you the fuck out of there. That's a player's house. We speak player language. We don't do the nerd speak. You know, nerds speak in anagrams and codify shit. No, we try to keep it real. Okay? My house is for guys who want to learn to be players or get successful in their dating, but not for some pickup artist nonsense. Peace, fellas.